But yeah, it's really impressive. They made, a national title in that span as well. And even before that, they were having some success in the tournament before that. This like 5 years, that's probably really 6 or 7 type of run. They were in the championship game like 9 years ago. So this isn't like out of nowhere for Michigan, and they become, a really solid basketball program over the last like decade plus since Beeline really started to get going. And it seems like they come alive in March, even when they don't have such a good team like this year, right? 17 and 14, an 11 seed who a lot of people had problems with either not being a 12 or not being in a play-in, and they kind of took it and ran with it. Now all those sins from the regular season are forgiven because they made the Sweet 16. Right now they're this great team again, who is top 6 like to start off the year. And their mid-season follies, or really their entire season follies, are kind of thrown out the window because they're showing up when it matters most.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this team, before the Big Ten tournament started, never really got any momentum going. They win, they lose, they win, they lose, they win, they lose. They haven't won back-to-back games in what feels like 3 months. And so, you pick a heck of a time to break that streak. The NCAA tournament's definitely the time you want to break that streak. And they did it following their leaders. Hunter Dickinson was an absolute beast against Tennessee. 27 points, 11 boards, 4 assists. And Eli Brooks, continuing to step it up, had 7 of his 23 points in the final 3.5. They doing it with defense. I mean, you're talking about, having a perfect game plan. Tennessee does what? They shoot the 3 really well. Well, what was Michigan's plan? Run them off the 3-point line. They did it beautifully. Tennessee made 14 threes against Longwood. They made 12 against Texas A&M in the SEC championship. 2 for 18 from deep against Michigan this past weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of an inverse of, a game we're about to talk about too, because Michigan was down, I think, 60-54 with just a few minutes left. And then they flipped it on. They made the plays that they needed to make towards the end. Eli Brooks hit that crazy shot to put Michigan up 4 with, I think, like a minute left or something. When after Tennessee had cut Michigan's lead back down to 2. And, it was a bunch of really good execution from Michigan, the second straight game where they were down at halftime, and then they came back and won, right? So what you've at least seen from about the first 2 games in the tournament is that this is a team that's not going to fold. They can go down at halftime and come back and still believe that they're going to win, which, as much as it hurts me to say, that is the mark of a championship team or a team that wants to, make a Final Four run. Because unless you're the aforementioned 09 Tar Heels, you're not going to be winning every game by 10 points. You're not going to go up into halftime up 8, saying, "Oh, we should really be up 14." So for Michigan to do what they did in these first 2 games it is really impressive. And now they get billed as this double-digit like underdog, even though their talent and even past March success probably earns them a little bit more respect than that.